I think that one thing that is frequently underappreciated is the kind of role that this kind of peaceful, very relaxing, natural environment has on the sort of human psyche. The functioning of these ecosystems, they provide so much habitat for so many different species.
Paul demonstrates leadership and conservation through his infectious enthusiasm for conserving reptiles and amphibians in Texas.
This is the kind of area where Houston toads would lay their eggs, kind of close to the edge, nice and shallow.
It's contagious. When you're around him, he has this ability to pass on that passion.
The Houston toad is an endemic species to Texas. It relies on really deep sandy soil to support adult populations, requires ponds for reproduction and larval development, and kind of upland forests. The most well-known Houston toad populations occur in Bastrop County. Houston toads historically occurred in Houston, so they got their name. And when Houston expanded, during the 50s and 60s, kind of along with a pretty significant drought at the time, we think populations in about 3 counties in the Houston area were lost around that time.
Is still burning out of control just east and south of Bastrop.
So we had a catastrophic wildfire that essentially was caused because for 100 years fires were suppressed and vegetation was allowed to grow to a density where it was very dangerous. But on top of that, that particular year was a very dry year that then dried out all that material. Around 95% of the canopy was lost from Bastrop State Park. Because toads burrow underground, we think they actually probably survived the direct effects. But because the fire destroyed the habitat, there was no canopy, there was very little, it was a scorched landscape. There was no food for them to eat, so there was a lot of kind of indirect effects. Then we saw over a couple of years, the toad population just blinked out, especially in the state park.
It's 64, she looks good.
After the 2011 fire, there were several efforts to help restore and recover populations of the Houston toad, and the captive breeding program was one of those.
The captive breeding program is really what has brought the toad back up to numbers where we're not losing sleep over it anymore. The program has got to the point now where they're releasing 1 million eggs a year. The Houston toad is really a really good indicator of a functional, healthy forest. The conditions that led to the fire were bad for the toads and they were bad for people. If you have a functioning and healthy toad population, you've probably got a functioning and healthy forest that's safe for people to live around. But also, we have 9 toads in Texas, and only one of them occurs only in Texas. I feel like it's a point of pride. It's weathered the fire, it's hanging on in this kind of harsh landscape.